Hello and welcome to Breezy Chatter. Today we're going to be talking about Ready to Love, episode 4. First, I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I really appreciate your support. So let's get into it. We've got 8 men, 9 women, and it looks like the men have the choosing power. And they meet up with nephew Tommy at the gentleman's lounge. Uncle Tommy challenges the men to try to get to know the women outside of their comfort zones. So we start with Aisha and Frank. They seem to be hitting it off really well. They went on a date, they played pool, they took really cute pictures together. They just seem really comfortable in each other's company. So I think they are going to go far. And if they don't, I'll be surprised because they really do seem to have the potential to last throughout to the end of the series. And then we have Tyrone and Carrie. So this is the meeting where Tyrone has to explain why he was so abrupt with Carrie when he was letting her know that he was no longer interested in pursuing her. Carrie felt like she was mishandled, and Tyrone said he felt like he was pressured by her. He used the word aggressive, which Carrie did not like. Long story short, it seems like Tyrone felt that Carrie was pressuring him to choose her. Tyrone felt that Carrie was asking him after he had gone on a date with someone else if he was still interested. And I think he wasn't able to answer her in the time frame he felt maybe she needed. He felt pressured by her, and he felt like it might have been best that they just stopped talking altogether. So he called her, and he was a little abrupt with her. She felt mishandled. He felt pressured. They both sort of agreed to disagree, and they parted ways. Then we saw another double date featuring Camille, Cornelius, Courtney, and Corey. They went roller skating. And it was funny because Courtney hadn't showed up at the time. So it was Camille, Cornelius, and Corey. They were talking. And Corey was saying that he was the wingman. And then Courtney shows up. And, they're all talking. And it looks like, for the most part, Cornelius was being held hostage by Camille. I did not see him interact with Courtney, not once. Corey spent most of his time getting to know Courtney. They both have that seductive energy. Corey was well at home with the flirtation, and Courtney was well at home with receiving it. She really had no problems with the way Corey was invading her personal space, and he was sort of pressing up on her. And she said she was blushing, so she enjoyed that. So good for Corey, I guess. And then poor Cornelius, he kept watching Corey and Courtney interacting, and so much that Camille felt like she wasn't getting the attention she deserved. And she had the nerve to ask him why he kept looking at them and, "Are you jealous?" Note to Camille, if you have to ask a man if he's jealous as he's watching another woman that he's interested in interact with another man, maybe you need to start talking to other men. Because clearly he's not just interested in you. He's also interested in Courtney. And it was kind of sad watching them because although they seem to have a good rapport, a good bond that's been developed, his heart is not just sold on her. He wants to get to know other people. And it's almost like he can't. Like he has to stay with her. So I felt bad for him. One thing that Cornelius said that I really did not understand was that Corey was running interference. I said, how? How is Corey running interference? In my opinion, if he was running interference, then maybe Corey would have been talking to Camille, and that would have gave you an opportunity to talk to Courtney. It just makes me think about the previous week when it was Walter, Courtney, Cornelius, and Camille. Was Walter running interference then? I don't know. That was kind of funny. I just didn't understand what he meant by that. So Mumin and Walter, they seem to hit it off really well. Really good conversation. I don't know. There's potential there. We'll see what happens. Also, another double date between Dante, Phil, Carrie, and Shiloh. And it looks like all eyes were on Shiloh. Dante and Phil were really interested in Shiloh and not interested in Carrie at all. And they went on a workout date. Who wants to do that? I mean, like, really? This is what we're doing? We're working out? Ugh. And they were teasing Carrie, trying to encourage her to keep up with the other three. She looked like she was struggling a little bit. The women were doing yoga poses. The guys were thoroughly engaged with Shiloh, and Carrie was just there for the ride. Then there's Zadia and Naeem. They were having a nice conversation. Looks like they were at a bar. That's a couple I think also has potential to go the distance. And then we had Frank and Tacia. They were also at a bar, and Frank made her a nice drink. She enjoyed it. And Frank was saying, he's trying to get to know her. He wants to try to tear those walls down, the walls that she has built up. And Tacia sort of said something along the lines of, well, we've been talking, for back and forth for a little while now. And, if there was going to be a connection, there would have been something by now. And Frank said, well, that's why we're here. That's why we're here. But I felt personally like Tacia was being slick with her mouth, and Frank was just trying to be cool, calm, and collective about the whole thing. But I think in his mind, he was like, I'm here trying with this woman, and she's giving me problems. So she's giving me that slick mouth. So I don't know. I don't think Frank is really all that impressed with Tacia, but I will give him kudos for trying, because he tried. You cannot say that Frank did not try to get to know Tacia, because he certainly did. So now all the gentlemen are meeting with Uncle Tommy, or Nephew Tommy, to discuss their connections. Corey, of course, he said he has a connection with Courtney and Mumin. Tyrone is feeling Sabrina and Shiloh. Phil is also feeling Shiloh. Cornelius is caught up with Camille, and he's trying to get to know Courtney. Walter also mentioned Mumin. So when it was time to talk about who they were not connecting with, most of the gentlemen came to a consensus that they were not feeling Tacia and they were not feeling Carrie. So Naeem had the pleasure of meeting up with Carrie. Cornelius had the pleasure of meeting up with Tacia. So Cornelius did explain to Tacia why she was at the bottom, which was that most of the men feel like she has this wall up. She's sort of guarded, and she's not really giving them a chance or opportunity to get to know her. Of course, Tacia said she doesn't know what they're talking about, but she said she's going to try to improve. I don't know how she's going to try to improve if she does not agree with what they're saying. So, well, we'll wait and see. We'll see what Tacia does. She said she's going to improve. We'll see. And Naeem, he let Carrie down gently. He let her know that the gentleman felt that she was not ready to love. She said, okay. She took it like a G. She left. No attitude, nothing slick to say. She just said, if there's a guy out there, she's there. She's ready to love. So I wish her all the best. She seemed like a nice lady. Just didn't find a match there. So good luck out there, Carrie. All right, so that is the end of my commentary. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. Please subscribe and leave comments. Thank you for your time. Until next time, ta-ta.